of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let the record reflect that all board members are present. Start off with the approval of prior meeting minutes, starting with the festival meeting, October 27th.
Make a motion to accept the minutes for the festival.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next would be our October 27th board meeting.
Make a motion to accept those minutes also.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And finally, our special public meeting, November 5th, held here at the town hall at 1 p.m. November 5th, last week.
Make a motion to accept those also.
Toby, you're gonna have to second. Nobody else was here. We didn't get a, we've got a motion but no second. You second it, Mr. Good?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll continue on to our reports, starting with water, wastewater, streets.
All right. Been a water plant street at 796,750 gallons of water since October 27th. Our average daily usage is down to 56,910. Filters were backwashed on November 2nd and 10th. The November back T test is complete and was absent. We installed a new ultrasonic water meter at the mobile home park. And I inspected 10 new water service connections. Under wastewater, been performing daily checks to the lift station and the sewer plant. The lift station's pumped 1,821,658 gallons since our last meeting. Our average daily usage has been 130,118. Sewer plant's closed, we're not discharging. The weekly sewer samples are complete. We had our wastewater inspection from IDEN today. Our only deficiency was our inflow and infiltration in the collection system, but I gave him a copy of our PER to review, so he's noting that on there. And we're trying to move forward. I've inspected 5 new sewer connections under streets. We've been replacing some bad street signs and should have those finished soon. We've been servicing equipment and getting ready for winter, and we're still working on cleanup at the water and sewer, both water and sewer plant. Under building, we've had 1 building permit issued, 18 building inspections, 3 electrical inspections, 9 mechanical inspections, 1 zoning inquiry, 2 building permit inquiries, and the November census report is complete and has been submitted. So I've got Mr. Any questions?
I don't have any. Okay, we'll move on to clerk report. Jennifer, do you have anything? All right. Mr. Jellison?
The only thing I have is 505 Indiana. Big difference on the outside. Everything's been cleaned up. It's sitting in a dumpster out in front of the mobile home. I spoke to the owner in California this evening before I came in. She indicates that everything outside is cleaned up. as well as what we've seen. Said that the interior will be cleaned up by the end of this weekend, and that the mobile home will be boarded up and locked. So that is where we are at with that currently. Any questions?
I know the neighbors down there are pretty happy.
Yeah,
Thanks for all
I've had some feedback
your
from them.
efforts there.
Yeah. It's a good thing, so, I did ask the property owner if she planned on demolishing the mobile home, and she said that is a consideration at this time. So, I think what I'll do is, touch base with her again next week and see if she is continuing to think along that line. You know, I don't know that we should, go to trouble of condemnation, if she's got that on the horizon.
Yeah.
So, but whatever you folks, whatever direction you wanna put me in is the route we'll take.
I think we'll just, I don't know, we'll have to,
Well, it'll start with me, you can at least tell her this, I'm gonna present it to the planning commission for condemnation.
yeah.
I mean, it starts with me, and after going through it.
I mean, I'd rather not have to go through the process, but,
That's what I was trying to save us from.
it's getting torn down one way or another, so if she just wants to go ahead and do it.
Alright. Yeah, I'd rather her spend her dollar on it than us spend our time on it.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
But I can inform her of that, so.
yeah. I mean, based on, he went in there with you, and both of you
Right.
saying it's inhabitable.
Absolutely.
And not even really, doesn't even seem like a likely candidate for any kind of repair, so.
No, it's not, so, her and I have a pretty good, communication relationship, so, I'll express that to her, and I think that, you'll see some action, from her on that, because like I said, it is a consideration.
Sure.
I think she probably just, we would sit back and say, no, you guys take care of my trouble for me, or.
Well, I mean, she would still be financially responsible.
I understand that,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm just talking about the work.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
With her being out in California and trying to get ahead of contractors here, it's a little bit cumbersome for her, but she's the property owner and she signed on and she bought the place. So that's where we're at with that. That's the only thing I have. I mean, there's been a couple, warnings issued on burning and along those lines, but nothing else of any major magnitude. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright. Well, we'll move on to old business. I've not heard anything else about the fire truck from, White River Township. Nobody ever called me. Also not had any contact with any other departments that I had called previously. Kind of at a standstill, and I guess, moving forward, you know, to have any action, we're gonna have to be more, proactive. I was kind of playing a waiting game, and it didn't seem to be panning out like I'd hoped, so.
Pursuing Ryan.
Yeah, I'll call him again, I'll call him tomorrow and see where he's at, but he was supposed to be coming up with some kind of a proposal. And he hasn't gotten it to us yet, but I'll see where he's at, and if he ends up not wanting to do it, there's other people that do the same thing, auction houses and things like that, so. Yeah. Nothing new to report, I guess we'll say that. Wall Diamonds, I sent Johnny the list. He had been in contact with somebody else that was interested. The list of all the necessary repairs along with the insurance requirements that Caitlin and I had talked about. And I also sent the insurance requirements to that group from Tipton that we had met with out there. I haven't heard anything else from anybody. I don't know if you have, John, or not.
No, I haven't.
And I realized today that I had not sent the information for a quote to that other appraisal house. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow as well. Send them the address and the parcel number and see if they'll shoot us back a quote. So unless anybody else has anything else, any other discussion or any other updates, that's where it's at as I understand it, so. Any other old business from?
I would like to ask Jennifer, if you want Jennifer, I understand there's allocations given for, money that's been given for maintenance. And if they don't use that maintenance, what fund does that go into? And how will I find it? How much will I find out how much that is?
What type of maintenance, or what are you talking
Well,
about?
I
What line
might
is
say
it?
like you say, just an example, they allow, let's say $500 a month for, maintenance on a truck. If you don't use that $500, then it doubles the next time, right?
No,
It's my understanding that it doubles until that money is.
Definition for utility.
no, I mean, I guess I'm not quite understanding what
We
you're
have
asking.
a depreciation fund.
Okay,
Okay, maybe that's what we want to try to use, I'm just using layman terms here.
Yeah,
I understand,
the
like, you know,
definition and how they're
we've
appointed
given
and
a
stuff,
maintenance
and how
allowance.
much
Well, she
And
gets
if we don't
elected.
use that
is
maintenance allowance,
on a utility clerk.
like for example, on our vehicle, it's 26 years old, we haven't done anything to it.
Well, it's had a lot of major service, but yes, it should have been,
If you
theoretically,
don't
it
use
should be
that
at
money,
the end of its life, and we're gonna have it for another 14 years.
So if you don't use that allocated money,
Employee.
It just stays in
We
contract.
did.
so it's not increased per month, per year.
I thought we discussed
Yeah.
that.
Well,
I mean,
yes, you're saying the same thing, it builds
I
if
think
you
it
don't
was-
spend.
Builds up,
Would not exceed $20.
Not to exceed
But the end goal of that fund is to have money to replace that
okay,
item.
so how does
Started
that?
with
That's in the,
new-
what would I
So-
look for? It's in the utilities.
You're
I
looking
thought
at
it was
the,
It's not in the general
We
fund.
can determine all the.
you're looking at the depreciation is, this is our sewage, okay, so this is what we have in there right there. And, this is our water depreciation. So, I just transfer money into that every month, and it just keeps building and building. And those are what, when I
This
talked to
is
Steve
general
Ross, he
fund.
said,
That's from
those are
general
funds where
labor.
you really want to let it build up and then use it for, like a backhoe, or, I mean, you know, we are gonna be using some of that for the purchase of the truck and the dump truck.
So these
So
two
these-
accounts are interchangeable, I mean, you can put this into that and that into.
No, this is your sewer and this is your water.
Oh, okay, so,
Yeah,
okay. all right.
so, that's your utilities, okay? And then
So this is what we have on hand as of right now.
in that fund, in that
Yeah.
depreciation fund. The water operating fund is right there.
Okay, yeah.
So that's what we have to our operating funds. And then we will also be using our stormwater,
Do you like this one?
stormwater operating. That will,
Pardon?
yes, that one. Yes.
Some out, for the trucks specifically, some would come out of the building for the pickup truck.
In general too.
The state stuff.
But that's what you're asking, is that,
Yeah,
is that what you're asking? Okay.
Counts on
Cause I was just wondering.
I'm sorry, I wasn't
Set salary.
understanding.
I'll have
She
hard
can hire
points.
No,
her
that's
if she
okay.
wants an hour
That's
donation,
all
that's
right.
what we set the salaries for. Yeah,
I
so
do.
being elected, she has that right to.
Okay, I guess we'll move on to new business, what's this salary ordinance here?
You need to have the first reading of the salary ordinance.
Okay,
I had a couple questions on that before we read it, Murray.
go ahead.
On this back sheet where it has on here the descriptions of each employee or position, there's nothing under here for utility clerk. And shouldn't there be a definition of the utility clerk on here, and the water and sewer reflect the salary coming out of that for the utility clerk position? That's my first one. And the other one, when we did the salaries for 2021, didn't we discuss bumping up the general labor and the MVH,
The cap on that,
yeah, to bump that up instead of 17, we went to 20 or 25, not to exceed, so that we could give
I think I remember that being mentioned, but I don't remember if that actually was.
the general labor being
Thought we-
water or sewer
I thought we
and
did agree
general.
to not to exceed 20, you know.
So we did discuss bumping him up to the 1750, and if he was a good employee, you know, and everything worked
Well,
out,
yeah,
we
so
did.
he's at the max right now, because we haven't
Right.
put a.
We went up to 1750, and I thought we said that, so we did it in the ordinance for 21, to change the language in this, to bump it up to, not to exceed $20 per hour, so that we could give him a raise and this and that if everything, you know, he continued to show interest in continue to do the quality work he's doing at the present time. Like I say, right now we did vote to bump him up to 17 and that was done. So right now he is at max, as of what our ordinance reads. So that means if we put this in place for 21, we couldn't give him a raise next year throughout the year.
Well, I've personally thought that it would be nice to kind of clarify some of the positions, and make it a lot easier to, just for example, like right now, Jennifer, when you pay for, office stuff, are you paying for that basically out of deputy clerk?
Depends.
I mean, I know some you're using
Yeah.
festival, but,
I haven't been using Festival very much because I
sure,
don't wanna,
sure.
you know, do that, but a lot of it comes out of deputy clerk, clerk pay. If Annie is doing like, if we're doing late notices and she's doing a lot of work like that during the week, I'll do it out of water sewer. But basically, it's out of, deputy.
See, because I think, for one, I think that there should be I think it'd be pretty clean to have the equivalent of general labor for office work, basically. I don't know if that makes sense, but that seems like, because you don't actually have a deputy clerk. So we provided provisions for that position, but your help is not operating in that capacity really, or at least not all the time. I don't know if there's a cleaner way to quantify that position. And then the other would be, I think it would be cleaner, just like Andy has pulled several positions to have an official position.
You run a copy
That's
of it real quick.
utility building
You can run a
clerk.
copy of it right now.
That would
Andy,
be,
you run a copy of that.
You need a copy?
Yeah.
because the way the ordinance is written, the way our ordinance books read, and the way that the state law reads, when it comes to clerk treasurer, it's not a, you operating in that capacity is because the council have said that that's what's going to happen, basically. But there's not really that position that details what that capacity is and how, what monies are associated with that. It just kind of gets pulled out of these different funds because you're performing those duties. So I don't know what that means exactly as far as this ordinance is concerned, and if we should go ahead and continue with this and then work on maybe trying to clarify some of these issues moving forward, or, I mean, does this just need to be done by the end of the year?
By the end of the year.
Okay.
I mean, this has not changed since Robin.
Sure,
She had
Sure,
written all this.
yeah, no, I know, and I know this is how we've operated for years, I just thought it was kinda odd that there's a couple of things that seem like should be cleaned up a little bit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we
Sure.
can help with dealing with like the legal side of, I know it's kind of confusing with like the clerk and then the utility issues, things like that. I mean, right now I haven't seen this yet, so I couldn't advise on
Sure.
that, but I know we could help give some parameters and like general legal overview for,
Yeah,
What
and I
the
don't
law says about the
anticipate
position.
anything changing in
Yeah.
that regard, I think it just, we could structure it more cleanly, and who know, elections happen, or people that are involved change, and, it'd be really nice to have that structure in place too, where, change of people, you can appoint that to somebody else if you need to. And then, like I said, the money is clearly defined, which amount of money is for what thing, beyond just what's in your budget. So. I guess we gotta decide if we want to proceed with this and then work on trying to clarify it moving forward, or if we'd like to table this for a meeting and try to do some work between now and then.
See, what we have before the first of the year, we still got 2 meetings left, or 3, 2 in December, 1 yet this month.
Yeah, 'cause we'll have, the one in December will probably be moved, right? We usually move it to
Well,
the year
it's,
end.
the last one normally is, but it looks like our first meeting is on the 8th of December and our second's on the 22nd, which normally would probably be moved to the 29th of December because it's the Christmas weekend area.
So we probably, if we could, get this taken care of for the first of the year so that we don't adopt this and then it's good for 2021 and then it's already in
So
place.
we gotta make the edit anyway for the not to exceed, like Johnny was saying. I think that's good to do. I don't know if we're gonna give him an increase or not, but that would save us having to do a new salary
Right.
ordinance if we did.
Sometime in the middle of the year, if we decided to give them an
Yeah.
increase for some odd reason in the middle of the year or whatever. And like I say, if he continues to work as well as he has been, you know, I wanna take care of him, in my opinion, and treat him right to where the point where, you know, he'll stay. You know, and he's a part-time employee without benefits now, you know, so that's something that, you know, down the road may need to look into, is putting him as a full-time and giving him benefits and insurance coverage and things too, if he's gonna be a good employee. And he has been, to this point, and, you know, like I say, I'm a firm believer, if you don't take care of your employees, they're not gonna take care of you. And, you know, we can keep going through these guys with no experience and trying to train them. About the time they get the gist of the job, they quit because of part-time, no benefits and things like that. So, I think that I'd like to do that, so I'd like to make a motion, we table this, and like I said, I'd like to look into the definition for the utility clerk and also amending that the general labor not to exceed the $20 per hour on the different positions. That would be general labor would be, which, since he does street, water, sewer, and everything, it'd be the general labor in the general fund, general labor in the MVH, general labor in the water fund, and general labor in the sewage fund.
Oh, festival fund too.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
festival, because he'll be getting paid out of that, so that would need to be when they're working on the festival things and barricades and whatnot.
Sure.
So basically, about every one of those that are general labor should be bumped up to the $20, not to exceed $20 per hour.
Why don't we just change all of them?
Yeah, they all need to go up to 20 an hour.
Is everybody okay with tabling that? And we can do some research and try to see what we come up with between now and a couple weeks from now.
I'd like to see if we can't get it taken care of before the first of the year, so we can go ahead
Yeah,
and adopt
and
it
by
before
the
next
way,
meeting and-
our books are so far behind, we really
Yeah.
be planning on sending them off for codification in January, February. So any other changes that we wanna make, it would be nice to try to start working on those now.
Yeah,
I know I wanna clean up our, some of our, public nuisance ordinances. There's that 9352 that's just kind of a catch-all, and I think we can make that a lot better. I was reading Noble's those the other day, and theirs goes far more in-depth than I think is necessary, but we could probably use somebody else's as kind of a jumping off point to kind of clarify ours. Anyway. Okay, other new business, Christmas tree lighting. So are we supposed to set a date for that?
If you guys want to.
I will not be participating, but I have heard that there may be efforts underway to organize a jog around town or something like that.
Ugly sweater jog around town.
That culminates with the Christmas tree tree lighting whenever that is, so.
I did talk to Jody Brown, and he said that the Christian church would, be more than willing to do like they did last year. As far as they did cookies and hot cocoa, our church did trick bags. Ed Worrell said that he's got the firewood, so. But Jody was kind of saying that Sunday evening would be good for him, for their church, so I don't know if you guys want to try and shoot for a Sunday evening or not.
Yeah, when do we usually do Christmas lights?
Usually,
First week of
month
December,
about-
second week of December, something like that?
We're planning on having Christmas lights out. Andy?
Usually put it up after Thanksgiving. Look at the calendar here.
I mean, would something like a Sunday the 6th work for everybody? Is that something
Weather
like-
permitting, Monday the 30th or the 1st of December, one of the two.
Last year we did it on Friday.
on Friday.
Friday the 4th?
Last year was Friday the 6th. We did it. But,
Since Jody said
yeah,
six,
the
the
Sunday.
the
He
Yeah.
said
Sunday,
Sunday evening will work good for him.
we're about shooting for the December the 6th, which is be Sunday evening.
What time would you guys like to set that?
It's dark at 6 now, right?
Yeah.
I don't have an opinion.
We shoot for 7 o'clock, that way it's good and dark, and that'd be early enough that people can get, attend and then get home at a decent hour. That way the kids can get back to bed, it'll be a school night. The following day,
You said 7, John?
that's what I suggest if everybody else is fine with that, 7 o'clock. July the 6th, or December 6th, we have Christmas in July, I'm a little bit off. December 6th at 7 is what I suggest.
This is tree lighting, 7 o'clock, December 6th. Okay. We'll do that. Finally, we have, an ordinance, we just had a planning commission meeting, a public hearing, and we have an ordinance that was at 6 o'clock this evening. So no members of the public are here for the public hearing. We had 4 of our 7 members here, so I'm assuming that constitutes a quorum, but, this ordinance, the planning commission have unanimously voted to recommend this ordinance be passed by the Atlanta County Council. This, raises the maximum height on a front yard fence from 36 to 42 inches. Reduces the rear setback of residential properties to 5 feet for mini barns and other movable sheds and things like that, under 144 square feet. And then removes the requirement for someone obtaining a permit every time they were to change the graphics on site. So those are the 3 things that are changed in this ordinance. The ordinance is an ordinance amending the text of the zoning ordinance of the town of Atlanta, Indiana. And it's available for review, but since we have had the public hearing and we have recommended that, I would like our council to go ahead and suspend the rules and pass this ordinance.
So that has to be unanimous, everyone here vote
So
to
we
suspend,
vote to
and
suspend
then
the rules?
all 4 would have to, or, wait, no, everybody's here. It'd still have to be 4 out of 5,
Okay.
so.
Everybody got one.
I make a motion, we
Suspend.
suspend the rules.
Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I make a motion, we accept this ordinance. We do need an ordinance number.
Let's do, let's do 11 2020 dash one.
One? Oh, one.
Oh, one's fine.
Oh, one, okay. Okay, ordinance number 11-2020-01, an ordinance amending the text of the zoning ordinance of the town of Atlanta, Indiana.
I make a motion, we accept it.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any other new business from the council?
What's this?
Oh, that was a letter, Mr. Nelson sent to town. He's seeking additional, footage, I guess was the name, square footage, space, buildings. So, I figured everybody can review that and just be thinking about it. If we can accommodate him in some way, maybe it makes sense to. If not, then, he can look elsewhere.
We should look at this.
Yeah. I'm not in favor of it myself. I say that either option he suggests, I'm not in favor of it. Actually, I talked to Andy about, since the street garage has not been completed, there's no heat or anything over there, and it's not big enough for a lot of his equipment, and that's already set up, the utilities are already on, and everything, might as well make use out of it. And I know that he's had some of his equipment over there now because he has it stored inside. So, I think we have a use for ourselves rather than, it's not really a vacant building. We've been working out of there somewhat, out of both buildings, being that there's not enough room in either one of them for all the equipment that he has. And like I say, that one already has the heat and AC and everything in it. It's already equipped and ready to be used and occupied.
And this is town hall, right here.
Well, you wrote the letter, you all have it. All right, any public comment this evening? All right. Have a motion to sign the claims and
I make a motion, sign claims,